Alright, so I'm doing this live without a script. I'm trying to do this in a one take. I don't think this is going to work, but there's no much preparation for this video on my side, so I'm just going to start. In my last video I tested the Eachine VR D2 against the Eachine EV800, and the Eachine VR D2 basically won this competition. But I had something that I didn't like, and that was the DVR of the Eachine VR D2, because as you maybe saw, as soon as you started recording, the frame rate dropped. And this is actually not a bug, it's by design, because you can just switch over. And for everybody who just wants to know how this works, I'm just going to try to demonstrate. This setup is, my cam is looking at one side of the goggles. I have an action cam which is actually targeted at a screen. It is recording, and at the same time it is connected to my screen in the background, so you can see this when I move this. This is actually live footage, and I'm going to put the recording somewhere here. I'm sorry for the bad quality, but it's just the action cam always has the same focus setting. You cannot change the focus easy. I could just disassemble everything and focus this manually, but I didn't want to. So yeah, if you want the copter, as you can see, there's something on the window. The copter is a few meters left from me. It's looking out of the window. I might recycle the power of the copter every once in a while, because the ESC beacon is going to start after a while, and this is going to, well, you know. So yeah, you just let's just do this really quick before I do go a little deeper. So we have the AV1 input at the moment, which is live video from the video transmitter, video receiver. And then we go in here, and as you can see, we get, there's something on my window. We can the DVR interface. Now if we push this button, it actually starts recording. And now I'm going to go over and just move the copter a little, and you can see that the frames go down, and this actually is by design, because now, watch this, we are at 25 seconds, we click this again, and we are at the live view, AV1. And if I move the copter now, I hope it is visible. It's actually as if you would fly, but the DVR in the background is still recording. So if we go back to the DVR setting, as you can see, we are at 51 seconds. So we push this button again, and we're done. And that's basically it. So we go back here, we have the live view, and everything is working. And yeah, this is something I didn't know, and this is something I was told in the comments of the last video, and I actually think this is really important, because this actually says that the cam is working. It's working pretty good, actually. So with this said, I want to go a little deeper into using these goggles. And for me, this is not, the goggles do not, or there's not one device in there. There are actually 3 different devices in there that are interconnected. It's the video receiver, the digital video recorder, and the screen. And both function individually. And that is why all these buttons are for different functions. So in the top row you have 2 buttons to change the band and the channel which you are receiving or listening to, and that is only for the video receiver, only these 2 buttons. All the other buttons are for different functions. Then we go to the second row, and in the second row we have 2 groups of 3 buttons. The 3 buttons on the right side and the 3 buttons on the left side. The 3 buttons on the right side are for the screen. The 3 buttons on the left side are for the digital video recorder. Now let's go a little deeper into the screen. So you have the 3 buttons on the right side. You have Cam, DVR, plus, menu, and power or minus. So one feature these goggles have is the power function, which is actually it's not a function. You can turn off the screen, but all the other things are still working. They're still on, turned on. This is just for the screen. Screen is back, but the video receiver and the digital video recorder are still working. Now we have the button on the right, which lets you switch between normal. AV1 is the input directly from the video transmitter, video receiver, and this is AV2. This is the input from the digital video recorder. Now with these buttons, even though we see at the moment the digital video recorder, we can do nothing with the digital video recorder with DVR with these buttons. What we can do with these buttons is we can change settings of the screen. Like we press menu button and we can see brightness. We press it again. We can see contrast, color, hue, zoom, language, and reset. And these are all the settings. So you go through the settings with the menu key, and if you want to change a setting, you go to Cam DVR plus or power minus, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, and so on. This is the same with contrast, with color, with hue. You can change 16:9 or 4:3 or 16:9. You can change the language, German, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, Engels. Not knowing what this is. I'm sorry. Let's just change Russian, language I don't know, language I don't know, back to English. So this is basically everything you can do with these buttons. You change the input directly from the VTX or VTX, or let's say directly from the cam, or directly from the DVR, or plus for the settings. With this you turn the display or the screen on and off, or you change the settings down. With this you go into the settings. Now these 3 buttons are for the DVR, and I really don't like what this, I mean, what does this mean? I mean, if I want to start a recording, I press this button. Why is this button recording? I don't know. But let's go into this, because there it gets a little tricky with pressing the button long or pressing the button short or whatever. So we are at the DVR screen, and as I said before, you press this button and you start recording. You press this button again and you stop the recording. Pressing this button or pressing this button in this screen actually has no effect. I have to power cycle the capture now. So let's hope we get through this until it starts again. I hope. So as I said, pressing this button and this button in this screen shortly has no function. But if I press this button long, I actually get to a settings screen. Now here we have some settings we can change, like the size of the video. If I push this button again, I get a screen where I can choose, and I actually tested this out and I made test videos with VGA, D1 and HD, and I can tell you for VGA we have a resolution of 640 by 480 pixels. It's an MJPEG video, it's 25 frames per second, and it is recorded in about 4.7 megabits per second. I made a 30-second video and it had a size of 7.6 megabyte. For D1, I can tell you that the resolution of the video is 720 by 480. It is recorded in MJPEG 2 and it has a frame rate of 25 frames per second and is recorded in about 4.8 megabits per second. The 30-second long video had a size of about 18 megabytes. For HD, I can tell you that it has a resolution of 1280 by 720 pixels, is recorded in MJPEG, it has 25 frames per second, it is 12.5 megabit per second, and a video of 30 seconds was in fact 46.2 megabytes in size. Audio, as you can see in the background, is recorded in PCM with 8 kilohertz, in mono with 128 kilobits per second. Now, as you can see, I chose HD here, and I guess I'm going to, or let's just change that. So if you want to change a setting, you press the middle button and then you can move around pressing the other buttons, right or left. And if you found something you want, you press the middle button again and you set it. Now, as you can see, there's another setting for record sound, on or off. Video time, I don't know what this is. Like, it's off 10 minutes, 20 minutes or 30 minutes. I really don't know what this thing does, and maybe I find out and I write it in the comments, but yeah, so far for that. Now you can see, if you look upwards, you can see that there are actually two setting screens. This one entitled video and the other one with another symbol. And to get to the other one, there is this little triangle there. But what to do? And I found out, if you want to get there, you press the middle button again. So you get to the settings screen. Now you can format the SD card. You can again change the language. You can English, French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, language I don't know, language I don't know, language I don't know, Russian, I'm sorry, and language I don't know. Now I go back and leave this at English. Sys reset, I guess, explains itself, and there is another setting or two settings that I thought were important but turned out they're not. There is light frequency, 60 Hz or 50 Hz, which I put to 60 Hz because I'm in Germany, and the TV output NTSC, which I put to PAL because I'm in Germany. Let's just get back here. Alright, what I thought, and I don't know if, or let's put it differently, with every other camera I have, by changing the TV output from NTSC to PAL or back, it actually changes the frames per second you can record. Like with PAL you get 25 or 50 frames per second, with NTSC you get 30 or 60 frames per second. And I found out that the setting here actually does not change the frames per second you get when you record. It's always roughly 25 frames per second. So much for that. Now, if you press the middle button again, long, you get back to your live DVR screen. Now, what is this button for? If we press this button long, we actually, one moment, get to the playback screen. So here we can use these two buttons to move forward or back through our video files, and we can actually see some settings for these files. Like this is video file 1, it is 30 seconds long, it was recorded in VGA. Video file 2, 30 seconds as well, it was recorded in D1. Now if I press the middle button, I'm actually starting the playback. You can see it is 4 watt FW and 1x. It's well, real time speed. I can speed this up. I hope I'm 2 times, 4 times, 8 times, and now the video is already finished. So what if I press this button long again? I'm getting back. But if I press this button long again, and I'm getting to the playback screen, and now I'm pressing this button long again, I'm actually getting into the settings for the playback screen. And here I can change two values, delete, or I can set two values, delete, which basically lets me delete one single file, all files, or one file I select. And the only way I get back from that menu is to press a button long. Not really thought out. And then there is volume, and I never recorded anything with sound until now, so I really don't know if there's actually playback with the goggles. I don't think so. But yeah, these are the settings you can change. Long press on the center button gives you the other settings, which are the same as with the live DVR view. So we press this button again, and we press this button again, and we are back to the live view. Now down there you can see that you can record for 10 hours 38 minutes and 15 seconds with the current setting. So the video is longer than I wanted it to be, but I guess I explained everything everything there's to explain about these goggles. It actually took me a while to find out all these settings and to make test videos, and yeah. So one more thing, you can see in the little display in front of the goggles there is a 53 and a low, and I guess the low means that the battery is about to die. I actually thought that the low meant that the signal strength is low, but as I said, the copter is only or not even 2 meters away from the goggles, so the signal cannot be low. So I guess it's the battery. I had this before I started recording. The goggles actually started beeping because the battery was low, and I just charged it up for about 40-45 minutes, and now it ran for another 20 minutes, and then it got low again. So my action cam seems to record good, and I guess that's all for this video. Everything has been said. If there are any questions, if you want to know anything, write in the comments. I am happy to test out everything you want to know, and yeah, subscribe, give it a thumbs up if you want, if you like this video, and I'm sure I'm going to make a new video soon.